Hi, I'm Kenny Selcer. Let's talk music. Modes can be confusing, for sure. And how do we use them anyway? Even if we kind of did know a mode, how do we use them? In this video, I am going to introduce you to modes, where they come from, particularly the Dorian mode, Dorian scale, and how we can use them in our playing and improv. Hopefully this will start to untangle the mess that modes can be and how to use them. Thanks for tuning in, and let's talk music. Hi, I'm Kenny Selcer. Let's untangle modes. So modes are basically what they call different scales. That's obvious. Okay, so let's say you have the A Dorian, D-O-R-I-A-N scale. So basically Dorian is the second mode of a whole tone down. So A minor is the second mode of the key of G, G major. So the Dorian mode is basically going to be equivalent to the G scale. So if you have an A scale and you want to make it a G scale, you flat the third and flat the seventh, and it is equivalent to the G scale. That's the Dorian. So Dorian, let's say D Dorian. D is the second mode. D Dorian is the second mode of the C scale. So you take the D scale, and in order to make it a Dorian, you have to flat the third and flat the seventh of the D scale to make it equivalent to the C scale. So that's how you get the Dorian mode. So what that means basically is all the chords are going to be the same, except starting on the tonal center of whatever key you're in. So let's say you're in the key of A minor and you want to play Dorian chords. All the chords in the key of G, which is a whole step down, it's G. All the chords in A minor, A Dorian, are going to be the same chords in the key that are in the key of G. So you have A minor seventh, B minor seventh, C major seventh, D seventh, E minor seventh, F sharp minor seventh flat 5, G major seventh, and back to A minor seventh. So those are the Dorian chords. See how that works? Whatever chords you're playing, if they're in the key of, you figure out what key they're in. So let's say you're playing A minor, E minor seventh, D seventh, D ninth, same thing, A minor. Those are the same chords that are in the key of G, correct? You got A minor, which is the 2 chord of G, E minor seventh, which is the 6 chord of G, and D seventh, is the 5 chord. So that means if you want to play over those chords, you just play A Dorian, which is equivalent to the G scale. And so you get this. I'm also making it so you hear the chords, which is also a good technique for improv. It's not just scales. You want to play a little more musical than just scales all the time, so you can make it the chords sound. So basically, any key. If you play, let's say, G Dorian. G is whole step up from F. So that means G Dorian is going to be equivalent to the F scale because it's the second mode of the F scale. So we got G minor, same chords now, A minor 7, B flat major 7, C 7th, D minor 7th, E minor 7 flat 5, F major 7th, back to G minor. So let's say you're in a jam and you're going G minor, right? Those three chords are basically in the key of F, but you can play Dorian, you can play centered around G if you want. Because you know that those chords are from the key of F or from G Dorian. So that's one way to approach the Dorian mode or modes for improv or for even songwriting. If you want to play, if you want to fool around with chords and you go, you're in the key of G minor, or in this case you want to keep it in G Dorian. So all these chords are Dorian chords or the key of F in this case. B major 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, G minor 7. So then the F scale, which is G Dorian. So that's basically how you do the Dorian mode, which you can actually extrapolate that into other modes, which we won't get into in this video. But basically, again, you take the Dorian, which is a minor scale, right? Because there's a flat third in it. And you just take whatever key you're in, C minor. Where does that come from? It comes from, it's a second mode of B flat, a whole step down from C. So if you want to play a C Dorian, make it a C Dorian sound, you play B flat in this case. So it's centered around the minor chord, which in this case, that last case was C minor. So that's Dorian, and that's one way to approach things. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do other videos to expand on this concept, expand on the modes, and expand on other modes in improv and how to make it sound like one mode or make it sound like you're playing in Dorian, which you are in this case. So go practice.